All right, you guys, welcome back to my channel. B.Sublime here. Last video, we spoke about the need to be right and how it can be detrimental to us to have to fulfill that need. We also touched on the notion that what's right for me may not be right for you, and vice versa. This notion may not make sense to some people because to them, right is right and wrong is wrong. But what I believe that they're not looking at is that life is dynamic and continuous. We don't know everything that lies ahead, even though nothing's new under the sun. And life is not going to wait for us to figure it out. So in this video, I want to talk about why life isn't black and white. All right? Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you know when I put out a new video, and join my Facebook page. Let's dive in, you guys. Don't you, don't you, don't you, don't you, don't you give up, no. When it comes to making decisions, we must acknowledge that there may be more than two options that are available. And of the options available, they might all be good, they might all be bad and horrible, and they might be varying degrees of the two. What I'm trying to say is we do not live life in black and white. It's either grayscale or it's technicolor. And depending on your life, your technicolor may actually translate out to high definition, like 4K, the good stuff, There was a time in my life where I said that I would never do this or I'd never do that. This is probably the worst phrase to say in your life if you don't want it to turn into a personal challenge. Because when I tell you, life will put you in some of them situations, just so that you can live up, it'll see if you can live up to what you said. But even if you do, you'll have gained a perspective or an understanding that you didn't have before, okay? I also learned that this phrase can carry judgment. It's like to say, I'll never strip for money, or I'll never be a drug addict, or that'll never happen to me. It's like it comes with an implied because I'm not like them, or because I'm not them, which is why a lot of people end up in those kind of situations anyway. Now, I've been placed in many situations that I wouldn't have thought myself to be in. And more times than not, I actually wasn't aware of how the situation was until I was smack dab in the middle of it. Or I was pushed to a point where I felt obligated or forced to walk that path. Now, it's in these situations that I actually realized how much about life I don't know. How many options I actually had, and why the duality of just right and wrong always seems a bit off to me. All right, let's take marriage for example. It isn't for everyone, and people can definitely do this for the wrong reasons, okay? But it can be part of a beautiful, beautiful experience if it's done right. Many think you have to love the person, but some see love more like a feeling rather than a choice. And those that have that school of thought, they see love as swaying branches on a tree that move whichever way the wind blows. So however you feel, that's the wind, and that's where it's taking love with it. Okay, so instead of being in love, they want true friendship or companionship. Others do it to realize potential. It's two people coming together because they have a collective view of success that they think that they can get together. Now, whatever the reason, it's not my business or my place to judge, because whether or not I agree is irrelevant to the fact that it might be the right decision for them. Let's flip the coin to divorce. There may be people there are many people actually, that don't believe in it, and that's okay. But for some, it's freedom from abuse. For some, it's financial independence. And for others, it provides the opportunity for parents to provide the best examples of love and guardianship and personal responsibility. And in some cases, unfortunately, it's just a way out for those who feel married life is too hard and it's not worth the work. Now, once again, I don't necessarily agree with every option or with every reason, but who am I to say that making that decision wasn't the best option for somebody? I can't, because I'm not them. Let's look at one more topic. Let's do friendship. People choose their friends in different ways. Some will try to buy them. Others will use their popularity. Some will people please. I was there at one point. And some just decide to be themselves and see who sticks around, which is where I'm at now. Whatever way they chose, it may work best for them because of the type of ties that that friendship will build and how it is for them and the other person. Now, I can have my opinion on the best way all day. But again, if it suits their purpose, is it wrong? Now, at this point, all I care about is what's right for me and mine. Okay? I don't care about what belongs to anybody else. I don't want what belongs to anybody else. I don't care if it's people, possessions, or their problems. I don't want it. They can have it. All the same, I also don't wish anybody any harm, and I hope that they don't cross any lines. But I've always been this way. And as a result, I've usually been the odd duckling out, okay? With this, though, I do understand that duality does not always apply. And this has been one of the best tools for doing inner work, at least for me anyway. Understanding that life is not black and white is a big deal. Many people are repeating harmful cycles because they feel there's no way out besides the grave or jail. They lack the ability to see themselves outside of the situation they're in and into something better. Some have difficulty evaluating the options that they have to move forward to their goals, all because of a vantage point that they just can't see, even though it's there. We're not bad people just because we make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We also have more skills than we realize, but we need to work to identify them and tap into them. Slow down for a second and just take a view of the land. Get a view of the land. Are there any paths that we've missed? If the paths that are available don't work, can we make our own? Know that life isn't as limited as our view may be. And just because some things don't apply to us, that doesn't mean that they aren't right for somebody else. This is something that we need to understand. And it's very important that we do so, because there will be times where we're going to have to decide in favor of another person's best interest over our own. Like when we have children or students or aging parents or others that are directly within our care. Even if we can master doing what's best for us, how are we going to fail when we now have to consider the well-being, the rights, entitlements, and privileges of somebody else, knowing that it might be in direct conflict with what we want? Now, we'll continue to struggle as a collective if we cannot hold the same convictions of love, joy, peace, and understanding with others as we do with ourselves. So, how do you view the world? Is it grayscale or Technicolor? Are you fortunate enough to have the 4K high def? Are you just working with the classic Crayola colors and 8-bit, How does that view affect your decisions? And how do you live life that way? Don't you